Back talking with Dr. Horowitz about the 528 code. It is a piercing look into the fabric of the vibrational universe we inhabit. And Dr. Horowitz gave me this special tuning fork, which is tuned to, wait for it, 528 hertz. It is the epitome of the love vibration. I'm going to play that in just a few moments so everyone can hear this. He gave it to me special because he knew I was going to be in the studio and it would have much better resonance here rather than him doing it on his end. And Dr. Horowitz, let me just ask you about the idea of this very special tone, this 528. You say that humans are able to respond to it. If you played it without telling people what it is, would they also experience it?
Absolutely. Again, it's inherently sensitive. That people are inherently aware in their hearts of this frequency. As I mentioned, it's part of the alphanumerics of the Ha, the language. It is part of the vowels. It's part of the laugh. It's part of the sigh. It resonates in people's hearts, is joy, and that's what the sound of 528 in the tuning fork is.
What about pets? Did they respond to it?
Oh, absolutely. Again, all of nature. In fact, pets respond to it better. We have on the healthyworldstore.com, we've got a tuning, not only tuning fork set, but the wind chimes. And so you put that outside and the plants all love it and the birds come around it. It's just a wonderful thing.
So who or was more than one person discovered this 528 tone?
Well, it started, actually, there have been many people over the last century that have indicated that it would miraculously heal damaged DNA. And then the first person that informed me that that was the case was Dr. Lee Lorenzen, who's a water scientist, who's Dr. Emoto's water science mentor and my water science mentor. Dr. Emoto's a very good friend of mine. We're colleagues. And that this was back in 1998 when I told Lee Lorenzen at dinner that we had just discovered that the original musical scale included 528. He almost fell off his chair. He said, this is known by the world's leading genetic biochemists to be the miraculous repair frequency for damaged DNA. And so I didn't know why, nor did he. Now we know why. Now we know it's coherence. It's phase locking the genetic strand, which actually is a circular helix, into the musical mathematical matrix, the heart of it, the most fundamental sound, again, the measurement system. You wouldn't have the speed of light being able to be measured. You wouldn't have 5,280 feet in a measured mile without 528. That's what's literally causing not only the universe to come into coherence with the musical mathematical matrix, but your own DNA. So that's why what you're about to play, the tuning fork, and again, people can get these. They're not very expensive.
Well, let me ask you first, because we're both musicians. Is it possible to make an instrument, say a guitar or a synthesizer, that has these tones programmed into them?
Absolutely. That's what we're celebrating. It's a musical revolution worldwide. We launched i528tunes.com so people can literally, for free, it's a free service, it's by donation. We request a donation from your hearts, but it's i528tunes.com.
Yeah. And, no, I'm saying, have there been instruments built that are based on these?
Yeah,
okay.
Indeed. Not only that, like, for example, Daniel Kohler down in Florida, in Naples, Florida, is designing pianos now with a granite bridge to play. And the lousy old pianos that he's restored blow the Steinway concert grand pianos completely out in terms of the sustain.
So it is possible. I had a friend of mine growing up. He wanted to make a guitar that was based on pi. I thought it was crazy. Now I'm not so sure.
No, it's a delight, and it's absolutely what we're going to be doing. Look at King David in the Bible. He played a healing harp. We have a harp maker that's designing harps now in 528. There are people who are designing bowls in 528. I had a fellow come to the booth today with flutes that he had made in 528. It's fantastic. Globally, we right now have a musical revolution. We call it the 528 Love Revolution.
Yeah, well, let's get this tone. Let me bring this tone on. You gave me the special tuning fork. It looks like something from Star Trek. It almost looks like a phaser. It's aluminum. It's very shiny, and I'm gonna whack this against something hard. Not my head. I'm gonna whack it against something hard in the studio, and I'm gonna put it right against the mic so people can hear this tone that we've been talking about now. Okay, get ready. Here it comes. And exhale. What do you think? Was that the vibration?
Let's add. Let me accomplish. Add to that. Accompany you with the sound that I use routinely, which is what I talked about, the AH sound, that will again bring you into this love vibration.
Okay, maybe people listening can join in too.
That would be one.
What would they have to do?
Let's do this as a prayer in collaboration and support for the great Egyptian people, for the freedom. Let's call for, in a prayer and the Ah chant, let us pray for America, for the freedom of we the people.
So what do the people have to do? They go ah?
Yeah.
Give us a little demo so they can get ready.
Okay. We'll just go ah.
Okay, and match the tone of the 528.
Exactly.
All right. We'll give it a try. Everyone take a deep breath, and we'll see if we can collectively pull our energetic resources here. Ready? Comes one more time. Wow, that was good for me. Let's see what people think. I mean, everyone's out there. We're in real time. These are real minds coming together, matching a singular frequency. I can't help but to think that there's some sort of resonance there, and it could manifest itself in all sorts of ways. I remember being part of the experiment that Art Bell did years ago to bring Daniel Brinkley back from death's door.
Exactly, and rain being made to come forth from people's hearts, heartfelt loving intention and prayer and chanting for that blessing and that miracle. So I pray that America and the American people receive all the blessings of freedom from this prayer that we've done tonight.
Yeah, what a nice thought. I mean, let's face it, you don't get a chance to step out of the normal in a real way. It's one thing to listen to the radio, but not many times you get a chance to harmonize with it. We're going to take some calls, but I just want to ask you real quick, this 528, it is something that people, when they hear, you're saying respond to. When I hear it, I hear a tone. In fact, it sounds like a little bit of a tinnitus I have in my ear. You know, sometimes you get that frequency that comes out of the blue. Is that related to this at all?
Well, let me give you in musicology what is happening energetically or spiritually. There's a phrase called ecstatic listening. And there's, within ecstatic listening, another term called frisson. F-R-I-S-S-O-N. And that's what you're talking about, at least associated. There's a kind of like a kundalini rush, a tingly sensation that as you're listening to really beautiful music, sometimes you'll have this experience of energetic movement throughout your body. The chakras are tuning up, and there's even what's called horripilations or goosebumps all over your body. There's a spiritual connection that's taking place, and that is typically a sign that you're engaging, again, coherently, going into phase locking with divinity or literally love.
I've got 100 questions, but the phones are absolutely blowing up. Let's get some people on here because they just have so many questions for you. First-time caller line. Welcome to Coast AM.
How you doing, Rob? I had a question for Leonard Horowitz. Just going to take my answer off the air afterwards. Would you consider the sound of lovemaking to have any healing power whatsoever?
The sound of lovemaking. I would think so, yes, indeed. In fact, again, that's this deep, magnificent connection to two human beings, ideally. And I'm not talking about sex. I'm not talking about lust. I'm talking about, like you're saying, love-making in the deepest sense. When two human beings are in communion, their hearts are in resonance, their lips are coming, the articulation is coming from a depth of love. That is exactly why we've been blessed with having the love-making technology. The Creator's blessed us with that, and that's, again, one of the signs that we not only have a God, but it's a God who loves us and wants to give us joy and wants to have us be fruitful and productive in terms of recreating ourselves and living virtually in love happily ever after. That's what this 528 Love Revolution is about. It's about exactly what the book of Revelation talks about in the end, is that we get 1,000 years of world peace, love, joy, harmony, not only interpersonally with each other as brothers and sisters from the divine family, but with the Creator.
West of the Rockies, you're on with Dr. Horowitz.
Hello?
Hello, you're on the
Hey, I'm a musician, and I hope I'm missing something because music notes are all relative to each other, so they're just names that we call the notes. For example, a C in 440 is a C sharp in 415 hertz, and it's a B in 465. So as far as I can tell, your guest is just asking that I call B flat G.
Okay, it's a hard one to wrap your mind around, but if you tune to A440, then your C is not in 528, but if you tune to A444, the scale of 444 contains the pitch of C in 528. It's actually on the piano. When you're tuned to A444, your C5 on the piano is 528. Half of that, an octave below, or the middle C, becomes half of 528. It's 264.
Okay, wait, so tune the A to 444 and the C will be 528?
That's the best we can accomplish with the chromatic scale that we are using today.
It's got to be a miracle of some kind, because I can't see human ears being able to tell the difference of so few, you know what I mean?
Well, actually, you'll be able to feel it as a sensitive musician. You know, Llewellyn Lloyd, who's 1948 top expert in the field, told basically the Rockefellers to take their 440 hertz and stick it. He said the concert musicians in the orchestras, when they tune to A440 standard tuning, at the end of the concert, everybody's tuned high, because intuitively, like we've been talking about tonight, there's a drive, an inner longing to commune with the divine frequencies of the universe. And so A444 is where you want to go. If you have a Korg chromatic tuner...
I have one right now, and that's the thing you played sounded... It read as a C in 440. That's why, you know what I mean?
It's actually C sharp. Take it careful. It
might be a little too... blunt of an instrument to register the specific pitch.
Yeah, but take the 444 and then tune to 444 like normal with your Korg tuner, your guitar. If you go to 444, then your C will be in 528, and then what your guitar, you'll notice, almost plays itself. you'll walk away sometimes from the guitar and the strings will start to resonate because the entire universe is resonating in love in 528 fundamentally. And so there's a coherence. There's a phase locking. Vocalists call it a registered voice. When their voices, and all the greatest vocalists, sing to God, they sing from their hearts, and their bodies become a vessel for that Holy Spirit flow of this divine sound. That's a resonance of love, and the best tuning that we can accomplish that today is when you tune up to 444.
Great question. East of the Rockies, Nazul, welcome to Coast AM.
Hey, what's up, man? I heard you earlier. You said that you know the true name of God. So apparently you found the Grand Grimoire, right?
I'm sorry, the Grand what?
The Grand Grimoire.
I'm completely ignorant, I confess. Educate me.
It is the book that holds the true name of God invoked during creation. And to say it backwards would undo creation. If you know the true name of God, I want to know where the Grand Grimoire is.
Nazul, could you please turn your radio down, and we'll answer that for you.
Well, again, I confess ignorance in that, but I can tell you that based on, again, simple common sense, when you realize from the book of Numbers, the code for the musical scale from the third note is miracles, like do, re, mi, ut, re, mi. That's 528. And then when you play 528 and you then measure the sun, it's harmonizing and primarily based on the pure tone of 528. And you look at the chlorophyll and you realize that that's structured based on the sacred geometry of 528. And then you begin to realize that, like I mentioned, when you A-E-I-O-U, you sing the vowels, which are virtually consistent throughout all the languages. Music, by the way, is the universal language. And when you sing the A-E-I-O-U, you have this A-O-A, and then you begin to realize that that appears to be, from the best of our knowledge, the sound of the God's name, the holy name, and
it might be that it's impronounceable.
That's what everybody is saying, and so the best that I can come up with is the ha, the ya, the ha.
There's a breath there. It's part breath, part...
life.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, let's go to Wildcard line. Cornelius, welcome to Coast AM.
Thank you, Mr. Simone and Dr. Horowitz. God bless both of y'all and all the Coast to Coast listeners, and Gina, your call screener.
Thanks.
I wanted to know if there is some type of angelic protection against this coming New World Order, and also a trumpet. Do you have like sounds for a trumpet, and can you give your 800 number real slow one more time, because I would love to order something from y'all. So God bless y'all, and y'all have a nice night.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I think the best place to get the information, first of all, is the website healthyworldstore.com.
Okay, if you give the number real quick one time, too.
Yeah, it's 888-508-4787.
So he was asking about some sort of protection, Len.
Yeah, I think that we are, those with ears to hear this message tonight and who have already been receiving this blessing of, divine synchronicities and a spirit-filled presence in their lives and a direction in their lives, and miracles, little miracles and big miracles are happening for a lot of people. Prayers are manifesting more rapidly for people. It's a sign of the times. The evolution of we the people into peace on earth, the 1,000 years of world peace, or the messianic reign, that this is...
It begins one step at a time. We're just coming up against a break. Stay tuned. More with Dr. Horowitz when we come back. You're listening to Coast AM.